Hi and welcome to day 11 of my Talking to the Camera challenge. Let's talk about things that we can do to improve our mood. And I'm gonna try to avoid stuff that we do in front of a screen, like watching a film or sitting in social media, just because I don't believe that this is truly a long-term sustainable way to make ourselves feel better. In reality, it just takes away our time, makes us feel less productive and to an extent guilty if we've spent a few hours scrolling on social media. So this is anything but screen related ways to make ourselves feel better in any situation and just do something small, something extra to improve our mood. So number one is cooking healthy food. And I'm gonna stress it here that the food that you cook should be healthy, because obviously it's okay to order a pizza or a burger once in a while and enjoy that kind of fast food moment of weakness that we have, but it's not gonna make us feel better long term. Personally, when I have something greasy or something very high in calories that I shouldn't be eating, that my body doesn't get enough nutrients from, I get very grumpy. I get upset, my mood just goes through the floor after I eat this. I might enjoy it in the moment, especially if I'm hungry, but afterwards my whole day is ruined. I don't really feel like doing anything else. I feel very sleepy, so healthy food makes us feel lighter, like we're more active and we're ready to tackle the world or, the tasks that we have for the day. And also, if you take your time to plan the meal and find the ingredients, find the recipe online, go to the grocery store, get the stuff you need, come back, and actually spend some time cooking. It occupies your mind, it makes you think about something, it makes you plan ahead, and just generally gives you some activity for the day, which is very beneficial for our mental health. So yeah, it's specifically that phrasing, cooking healthy food. It's important that we spend some time cooking it and that we cook something healthy, something that's good for us and that will make us feel better in the long term. Number two is connecting with others. Sometimes we feel very lonely and unsupported and we feel like maybe we're alone in this world. And this is a very false feeling. We always have people around us who care. Remember those people, remember who you care about. Plan something with them, message them, plan an outing. If you don't want to go out, plan inviting them into your home for dinner. You've just cooked a nice healthy dinner, why not share it with somebody? It's definitely gonna be more positive. And make sure you don't lose that connection with people around you. It might be your family, it might be friends, people you love. Just making sure that you maintain that connection is very important, because even if you feel like crap, not talking to anyone about it won't make it better, it won't make it go away. And on the opposite, feeling like you're connected to the outside world, to people there, makes you feel like you're a part of something bigger. Number three, walks and picnics. I don't know what it is about eating outside, but there is something to it. If it's warm, take a sandwich with you, go to a park, get a picnic blanket, just sit down and have your lunch outside in the sun, on the grass, looking at other people passing by. It really, really improves your mood. If it's cold, just dress up warmly and go for a walk somewhere pretty. It is revitalizing. It gives you this energy that you're lacking if you're just spending your time at home. And it also provides for a change of scenery, which is nice if you feel stuck or if you're bored, you need to do something else. Getting outside somewhere pretty and enjoying the view and maybe having your lunch or dinner there is a really nice way to cheer ourselves up. Number four is books. And obviously, if we are sad about something in our life, or if we don't really have the energy to do something in our life, books help us escape into a different world, enjoy getting to know the characters, following the plot. It's just this way to escape for a little bit, and it's okay to let ourselves escape for a little bit from the real world if we need some time to think or it's just some rest. And personally, I feel like books is the healthiest way to escape reality, as opposed to, say, computer games or binging Netflix shows, because they also help us with our self-development and growth as a person. In this Talking to the Camera challenge, I've already made a video about how to make ourselves enjoy reading and get back into the habit of reading, so I can link that down below if you're interested. Number five is cleaning. You might not want to do it if you're feeling down, but if the space around us looks like crap, then we will feel like crap. That's just the law. Nothing's ever going to change about that. So in order to help ourselves, making sure that the space is tidy and clean and nice to look at will definitely help us improve our mood. Think of yourself as your own child. Think that if I was my own child, then would I let my child to sleep in dirty bed sheets? Would I let my child to work at a dusty desk And obviously, if you would care like that for somebody else, then why not give the same love and attention to ourselves? I promise you, if the space in which you spend 90% of your time looks nice, feels nice, smells nice, you will feel 100 times better in it. Number 6 is donating things, and you can do this together with tidying and cleaning. If you discover things that you own but that you haven't used in a long time, or that you really don't need, donate them. First of all, you free up that space, and the energy that you get from freeing up the space from something burdensome that you used to have but no longer have is amazing. You can spend this energy on other things that really lifts your mood to know that you don't own junk anymore. And secondly, when we own things, we have to keep maintaining them, and it turns out that we work for things more than they work for us. For example, if we have clothes that we don't wear, we have to wash the clothes. If we have a coat that we don't wear, we dry clean this coat every season, even though we're not wearing it, it's just getting dusty in our wardrobe. If we have some tech that we don't use, it's just sitting there getting dusty, so we have to dust it or move it around when we dust. So this energy that we spend to look after things that we don't use and to maintain things that we don't use can be spent on something else, and you free up this energy as soon as you get rid of things that you don't really need. Number 7 is to-do lists, and in particular completing to-do lists, because if you set yourself a plan for the day, right, of things to do, and you write those things out, and you have those little check boxes, square boxes to tick whenever you complete something throughout the day, it brings you so much satisfaction to document the progress that you've done throughout the day. It also gives you the purpose for the day, even if it's something small, like doing the dishes, or going to the grocery store, or fixing something in your home that's broken, or calling your parents. Ticking this off the list, making sure that it's done, and telling yourself that it's done, and documenting it on paper. It's really an unbeatable feeling. We become proud of ourselves that we've accomplished something, and it's really a clear-cut way to make ourselves feel better about our own productivity and stuff we do in our life. Number 8 is similar but more long-term, and it's goal setting for the next few months or the next year. Just making sure that you break down your life into categories that you want to look at, and you write down a few key kind of things to do in the next medium to long-term period of time. It really gives you a more long-term purpose that doesn't burn out after a day or 2 days of to-do lists, and it helps you keep one eye on the future and be excited about it. Number 9, at-home spa. Get yourself the shower gel, the smell of which you like the most. Get yourself a loofah and have this like 1 hour at-home spa therapy for yourself, where you treat yourself to all body care possible, all face care possible. It really works. You pamper yourself and your body rewards you for it. It's especially helpful if we've had a somewhat stressful day, if something happened at work or at school, or generally if we were feeling really down. Having this little pampering routine can help us give ourselves some love and relax. Number 10 is flowers, and I'm not talking the crazy expensive varied flowers from a flower market that we can't afford on a regular basis. I'm talking go to the nearest grocery store, find yourself some daffodils, you know, this like pack of daffodils that are still unopened in buds, and bring them home and watch them open up in the next week or 2 weeks, and watch this bright yellow color. I promise you this works. It's a cheap trick, but it works. Flowers usually give you the feeling of celebration. You're celebrating something, it's an occasion, and then you start looking at your life as an occasion if you get flowers on a regular basis. Number 11 is stretching, and it's especially helpful if you're sat down for most of the day not doing anything active. The pleasure, the bliss that you get from stretching your body in the way that it needs, from rotating your back, from arching it, from stretching your legs, this feeling is unbeatable. This is something out of a book, I don't know. Just take 5-10 minutes and sit on your carpet. You don't need any equipment, and just stretch, just feel it. And you don't need to do any professional stretches. You don't even need to Google any kind of stretching exercises. Just stretch in the way that your body requires it. Listen to yourself. What do you need right now? Where does it hurt right now? What part of your body is stiff right now? And then stretch that part. It's an amazing feeling, really helpful if you need to take your mind off something and focus on how you're feeling physically. Number 12 is handmade hobbies, and in that I include stuff that you can do by hand while also doing something else. For example, listening to a podcast or watching a Netflix show. I'm talking about stuff like knitting, coloring books, painting by numbers. Personally, I like diamond art, so that's sticking little pieces of resin on top of a canvas to create a picture. Anything that tickles your fancy, that is purely a mechanical movement, that doesn't require any thinking while you're doing it, so you can also dedicate your attention to something else. You might even be talking to your friends or your family over the phone and doing that hobby at the same time. Really satisfying, brings you again this feeling of productivity and accomplishing something. Number 13 is bowling. First of all, because you do it with other people, so it's a very social activity. Secondly, because it's a light form of exercise and it helps us move around and do something with ourselves and with our time at the end of the day. And thirdly, because all those bright lights and flashing screens and music there kind of gives you this impression of a party. I'm sure that all of us as kids were invited to birthday parties of our friends, which took place in bowling alleys. It was fun, it was exciting, it was something to look forward to, and this feeling of a party stays even when you're becoming an adult and you just go to a bowling alley just for fun. Number 14 is day trips, so it really helps us again change the scenery, so it works the same way as going for a walk in the park, but it's a bit more substantial. I feel like often we'll live in very beautiful places or near very beautiful places, and we tend to ignore it because, you know, this beauty is not going to run away, it's just going to stay there so I can go whenever I like. And I think it's a very big mistake because we end up just not knowing and not seeing what's right in front of us, and it can really be inspiring and exciting to see, and nonetheless we miss out on it. So definitely researching what places are nearby that can be beautiful or can provide for a change of scenery, and going there for a day or a half day just to enjoy the views and enjoy the environment there. Number 15, music. Listening or playing, it doesn't matter, whatever genres you like. I feel like it's fairly self-explanatory as well. The only thing, if you feel sad, if you feel down, do not, for the love of God, do not listen to sad music. It will not help. It's bringing yourself even more down. Listen to something cheerful, play something cheerful if you play an instrument. It really is gonna help you get back on track. Listening to music, especially listening to loud music, also allows us to distract ourselves and take our attention away from something that might be upsetting or annoying us into the music. Number 16, diary entries. I don't have a diary that I lead on a regular basis, but when I have something on my mind that's worrying me or upsetting me, it's really helpful to just write it all down, because afterwards you have this pleasant vacuum in your brain, you don't think about anything, you wrote the problem out on paper and it's kind of like dumping it from your head to the paper. It is really helpful, especially if you also come up with a solution while writing that diary entry. If your problem has a solution and you manage to come up with it, you are rewarded with this amazing feeling of satisfaction and a plan that you have formed, so all the worries kind of melt away. Number 17 is pets, and that's simply because pets love us regardless of how much we messed up or regardless of what's going on in our lives. Pets are happy and they're there for us and they love us just for who we are. So if you have a pet, make sure that you cuddle with them multiple times a day. If you don't have a pet, maybe some of your friends do, so ask them. Maybe you would be okay to go on a walk with their dog or cuddle with their cat. Seeing a creature that's always happy to see you and always happy about life is actually very infectious, and this happiness kind of passes on to you, so you can make the most use of it. Number 18 is reliving the childhood moments that you really enjoyed as a kid. So just remember the moments that you really liked when you were a kid. Maybe it was something you did, maybe it was something you ate, and recreate it right now in your adult life. It lets us regress a little bit back to the state when we were a child, and when we do this temporarily and let ourselves indulge on the little things that we really liked as a kid, that is really helpful to our mental state. To me, it's the doctor sausage, okay? And I will explain. It's a type of sausage, a Russian type of sausage that I would have as a kid on open plan sandwiches and whatnot with some sweetened tea. So I found a Russian food shop here nearby and I get this sausage whenever I feel like making that sandwich and enjoy it once again as if I was a kid. Number 19 is volunteering, and it might be a little bit less obvious, but when we do something helpful, something worthy for others, it makes us feel good about ourselves. We contribute, we do something important even though we don't get paid for it. This kind of feeling of purpose also is there to stay. Take a look around, maybe there are some volunteering opportunities in your area, and if not, then you can just do some small kind deeds when you're going out. For example, if you see somebody who needs help, or if you see somebody who maybe is lost, or you see a pet that needs to be fed, small things like that make ourselves really feel good about life and how we contribute to the society. And number 20 is therapy. If nothing helps and you feel down in the dumps for a long period of time, therapy or counseling is probably the way forward, because then you can talk out your problems with somebody who is paid to be there. You don't need to worry about taking their time, and you can go in detail about things that worry you or things that upset you, and together you can find a solution. Therapy can be very beneficial, so I've included it on my list simply because I go to therapy myself and I find it so helpful. It can really shift your perspective on things and help change your attitude to some minor or major downsides in life. And it also teaches you to get to know yourself better and about your responses to different situations. Really helps us to be able to take care of ourselves more effectively. People will scold me here because I didn't mention exercising, and that's not because I don't think it's helpful. I think it's extremely helpful. It's because I don't really do exercise myself outside of light activities like bowling that I mentioned or stretching before bedtime. I'm not really an exercise type person. That's wrong of me. Don't be like me. If you feel like exercising, go exercise. I just didn't want to be hypocritical and tell people that exercising really helps when personally I've not been experiencing the benefits of it lately for myself. So I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not mentioning exercise because I don't exercise. I am sorry. But on that note, I think that's everything that was on my list. I'm sure that I've messed up the numbers somehow, and somewhere where it was supposed to be 16 it was 17 or something, but this is the list of things that I find helpful personally when I feel really down or when I feel anxious about something, just to make sure that I keep enjoying life on a daily basis and the small things that life has to offer, and keep myself happy that way. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!